Hello people, so welcome back to the best Killro channel here on YouTube. Today's Baldur's Gate 3 video will be the first of many small little class overview videos where each episode will be focusing on a different class in Baldur's Gate 3. This way, those of you that are either new to the game or are excited for the full release can get a full overview of each and individual class of Baldur's Gate 3, so you can make your full decision as to what class you are going to be come August 3rd. Now, these won't be going super in-depth. We're going to try to keep them light and easy to understand for both newcomers and veterans to the game. We'll be focusing on the key components which make up each class that you can play in Baldur's Gate 3, some of the subclasses, some of the spells, the weapons they can use, and stuff like that, just so you have a little understanding of which class you like the best. And before we begin, ladies and gentlemen, link in the description. Check out the RPW store. Use RPW10 for 10% off your order. Here we have tops, hats, coats, jackets. We have Beach Bash. We have Regents Mania, Regents Rumble, Friday Night Fury, Warzone. We have whatever you want right here to represent the #1 wrestling show in sports and entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, get your merch right here. We stream every Monday, Thursday, Friday on the live tab of the Rudenskid YouTube channel. I don't. Arcade does. He has his sleeves rolled up. Check out RPW. Link in the description for the match. Live tab for the shows. And let's dive right in. So for these episodes, there's not going to be any face cam. There's not going to be much gameplay. There's going to be some gameplay in the background, but not live gameplay. It's just going to be clips and pictures in the background to sort of explain what I'm talking about to go along with it. So think of this as kind of like a little podcasty series. You can just listen to this to learn a bit about the class while you're doing something else. But of course, for this first episode, we're going to be focusing on the Paladin class, the class that we are probably going to be using in our full playthrough, our Let's Play series on this channel when the full game is released August 3rd. Now, Paladins are widely known as masters of a wide variety of weapons and armor, as they can wield pretty much any weaponry whilst being able to wear light, medium, and heavy armor, making them perfect for being a tanky build at the front lines of your combat formation. Important ability scores to look out for your Paladin include Strength or Dexterity for your physical attacks, Charisma for spells and Channel Oath abilities, and Constitution for hit points and concentration checks. Your Paladins are primarily martial fighters. Like we stated before, they can wield practically any weaponry that you desire. Usually with a sword and shield, they can also have two-handed weapons, as well as any one-handed weapon you would like them to use. The cool thing about the Paladin is that they also have the ability to cast spells. However, they gain spell slots at half rate of a full spellcaster, and they don't have as wide of a variety of spells to choose from like a full spellcasting class such as the Cleric or the Wizard, for example. For your prepared spells, you may swap any of them out whilst outside of combat only. They cannot be altered once you are in a fight. So you have to prepare your spells, know what you want to be using before battle, because once you're in battle, you are locked in with your prepared spells. They can only be changed outside of your combat. So the Paladin can use pretty much any weapon. He has a high AC. He can wear any armor. He's a big tanky build, and they have two signature spells that come with the Paladin. The two most notable spells for the Paladin are Divine Smite and Lay on Hands. Divine Smite allows you to use one Paladin spell slot to deal extra radiant damage to the target when you hit a creature with a melee weapon. The extra damage is a 2d8 for a first level spell, plus 1d8 for each spell level higher than first. The damage also increases by 1d8 if the target is undead or a fiend, making your Paladin perfect for mowing down a crowd of the undead. Each time you are attacking someone with a melee weapon, you can choose to use Divine Smite to add extra damage to your opponent. Lay on Hands, however, is the healing ability of your Paladin. Your Blessed Touch can heal wounds of those around you. Bearing in mind, it is a touch spell, meaning you have to be within 5 feet of the target you wish to heal. How it works is as follows. You have a pool of healing power that replenishes when you take a long rest. As an action, you can touch a creature and draw power from the pool to restore a number of HP to that creature, up to a maximum amount remaining in your pool. You can also expend 5 hit points from your pool of healing to cure the target of 1 disease or neutralize 1 poison affecting it. Now, this is why the Paladin class is one of my favorite classes to play, and I'm so excited to actually play it. I've never played it before because I knew I was going to do it for my main playthrough, so I wanted to keep it as my first ever time experiencing the Paladin. Not only do you have the ability to add Divine Smite to an already powerful creature, because you can have any weapon plus a shield plus heavy armor, your AC will be so high that you can literally tank any abuse that the opposition may throw at you. Being able to add Divine Smite as well. You already have high strength as a Paladin, so adding Divine Smite makes them one of the best classes for single damage to a creature. But you also have the ability to use Lay on Hands to heal your team around you. The Paladin feels like this all-around amazing class that can pretty much do a little bit of everything. Outside of combat, the Paladin is also one of the best classes for role-playing in Baldur's Gate 3. I think the Paladin class adds the level of role-playing that no other class has in Baldur's Gate 3, and that is mainly due to your subclass. So the main attraction of the Paladin class is your subclass, which oath you will be sworn by. There are 2 choices in Early Access, with a third being introduced in the full release. The two from Early Access are the Oath of the Ancients and the Oath of Devotion. The new oath that is being added in the full release, which I think is the one we are going to be playing as, will be the Oath of Vengeance, and I'm keen to see how that plays out come August 3rd. The Oath of the Ancients have a deep connection with the natural world and the light within it. Kindle the light through your acts of mercy, kindness, and forgiveness. Kindle the light of hope in the world, beating back despair. Shelter the light where there is good, beauty, love, and laughter in the world. Stand against the wickedness that would swallow it. Where life flourishes, stand against the forces that would render it barren. This subclass is all about nature and healing the world of its horrors, whilst maintaining the nature and light that exists. Be the light. Be a glorious beacon for all who live in despair. Let the light of your joy and courage shine forth in all your deeds. At level 1, you get Healing Radiance, a bonus action which allows these paladins to channel their oath to heal allies in an area. Oath of the Ancients is all about healing, repairing, and mending the world and your team around you, whereas Oath of Devotion is a really beefy and attacking sort of subclass. So it's more like, what do you want to special in? More healing or more attacking damage for your Paladin? Devotion, which is the other subclass of Paladin in Early Access, means these Paladins gain abilities that aid them in protecting the weak, dispelling falsehoods, and defeating fiends and undead. Honesty, don't lie or cheat. Let your word be your promise. Courage, never fear to act. Compassion, aid others, protect the weak, and punish those who threaten them. Show mercy to your foes, but temper it with wisdom. Honor, treat others with fairness, and let your honorable deeds be an example to them. Do as much good as possible while causing the least amount of harm. At first level, the Paladins gain an ability called Holy Rebuke, which allows them to grant a target a vengeful aura that damages the attacker each time the target is hit in melee. The new addition oath is the Oath of Vengeance, which is a solemn commitment to punish those who have committed a grievous sin. When evil forces slaughter helpless villagers, when an entire people turns against the will of the gods, when a thieves' guild grows too violent and powerful, when a dragon rampages through the countryside, at times like these, paladins arise and swear to the Oath of Vengeance, to set right that which has gone wrong. To these paladins, sometimes called Avengers or Dark Knights, their own purity is not as important as delivering. They desire to fight the greater evil, no mercy for the wicked, by any means necessary, and restitution. Faced with a choice of fighting my sworn foes or combating a lesser evil, I choose the greater evil. There are 3 classes to choose from, and that is the main role-playing aspect of your Paladin. If you swear by these oaths, even out of combat, you need to abide by their rules. That means if you swear to the Oath of the Ancients, for example, which is all about fairness, bringing light to the dark, but then you go around killing non-hostile creatures for no reason, you will be summoned by your gods and you can break your oath. There is technically a 4th subclass which you have to unlock called the Oath Breaker class. Now, the Oath Breaker class comes pretty self-explanatory. When you break your oath, there will be a special cutscene that plays and a special thing that plays out where you are met by the gods and you are given a special subclass called the Oath Breaker, where these guys pretty much don't give a damn about anything or anyone. Like I was speaking about role-playing earlier, it adds that extra level of RP into Baldur's Gate 3, as even out of combat, you need to play your role as a paladin if you wish to follow your oath, or if you decide to break it. So when breaking your oath, a paladin tries to hold to the highest standards of conduct, but even the most virtuous paladins is fallible. Sometimes the right path proves too demanding, sometimes the situation calls for the lesser of 2 evils, and sometimes the heat of emotion causes a paladin to transgress his or her oath. A paladin who has broken a vow typically seeks absolution from a cleric who shares his or her faith, or from another paladin of the same order. The paladin might spend an all-night vigil in prayer as a sign of penitence, or undertake a fast or similar act of self-denial. After a rite of confession and forgiveness, the paladin starts fresh. So there is the option, once you break your oath, to be able to get your oath back reinstated and continue on your path. But like I said, if you fully decide to break your oath, well, you're in a completely different realm. If a paladin willfully violates his or her oath and shows no sign of repentance, the consequences can be more serious. And that is when you either lose your class entirely, or you may undertake the Oath Breaker Paladin option. The Paladin is the class that I am most excited for come full release. That's why when it came out in early access, I made the conscious decision to say no. I'm not going to have an early access run as the Paladin because I want my first ever time playing the Paladin to be our Let's Play series. I hope you've learned something from this video, or if you already knew all of this, I hope you enjoyed it. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be doing one of these for every class in BG3 during the lead up to August 3rd to continue to grow a Baldur's Gate 3 community here before our journey begins. I just want to keep talking about BG3. This game is all I can think about. I'm constantly on the subreddit, refreshing, just seeing any new news or information on this game. It's currently the #1 bestseller on Steam. The hype that this game has around it is so nice to see, because Larian Studios deserve all of it. And the good thing about Baldur's Gate 3, the thing that I love about it so much, is I'm still learning about Baldur's Gate 3. I'm still learning about all these classes and subclasses and how the rules work and D&D and whatnot. So if I do get anything wrong in any of these videos or mistake anything, that's completely fine. You guys may be more experts than me, so let me know in the comments down below if I get anything wrong. To a lot of people, I'm also a newcomer to the people above me, so they can also hand down their wisdom and teach me more. I've been Harry2V, also known as Venus Kid. Remember to leave a like if you are excited for Baldur's Gate 3. Subscribe with the bell to be turned on to be notified whenever we upload. Much of as always, take care, don't break your oath, and peace.